the wise man.
Orion is the key player. The way they joined up the dots, almost without exception in all the ancient cultures, was as a man standing with his arms raised and his legs apart. And he's wearing a belt studded with 3 different stars, the belt stars of Orion.
These researchers claim that the Egyptians are pointing to Orion because it marks the halfway point of the 26,000-year circle the Sun makes between galactic alignments. This proves, they say, that the ancient Egyptians also recognized the pivotal importance of this celestial event.
The fact that the monuments are aligned with their celestial counterparts for the time in the history when they were present in the sky above Giza tells us that whoever built those monuments understood that movement. And this particular alignment for the 3 pyramids and through the Sphinx was exactly 1/2 of this 26,000-year cycle that we're now experiencing.
The Sphinx, along with the entire Giza complex, can then be viewed as pointing to the coming galactic alignment.
Our ancestors clearly understood the movement of Earth through the heavens, the movement of our solar system through the galaxy, and the changes, the cyclic changes that we could expect as that movement reached certain milestones. And it appears that one of those is upon us in this time, right now.
The Egyptians were one of the world's first superpowers. Their possible fears of coming disaster could very well have disturbing similarities to our own time.
The government of Egypt was investing so much money fighting wars that they went broke. There were strikes among the workers because there were no wages, because the weather patterns changed. The crops weren't growing the way they had in the past. There were food shortages. And all of these things contributed to the collapse of one of the greatest civilizations in the history of our planet. So we can certainly draw parallels between what happened to that civilization and what we're seeing now.
We're lifting the veil on a very esoteric subject that not that many hundreds of years ago in the West, if you actually talked about it and expounded it and said, oh, I know when the end of the world's going to happen, you would be let off and burned at the stake. So this is dangerous knowledge. This is very significant knowledge that only now can we actually talk about openly.
Nostradamus also fears repercussions for his dark predictions and cloaks them in 4-line poems called quatrains. Like the Egyptians before him, he reads the stars like a roadmap and tries to glean details regarding the end of days.
Conjoined here in the sky manifested, it enters, little rain. The sky and earth dries, undone, death, cut, arrived at a bad hour.
Like the Egyptians, Nostradamus believes that messages about the future are written in the heavens. Researchers point to this Nostradamus prediction as a metaphorical warning about the potential weakening of the Earth's magnetic field.
The Earth's magnetic field is in the process of changing and perhaps weakening in spots and showing its vulnerabilities. And anybody who's ever watched Star Trek, you know, the shields are down, bad.
When the magnetic fields are strong, they deflect the solar wind that is coming from our sun and the incoming particles from the universe beyond. And when those fields are weak, they have less ability to do that, meaning that more solar influence reaches the Earth, heats up the atmosphere of the Earth, as correlated now with melting the ice caps, the increase in the sea level.
As the Earth's magnetic field wears down, the Earth is left open to a frightening array of problems.
If the magnetic fields of the Earth were to collapse to zero and go through reversal, with a planet of 6 billion people based in computer technology, GPS satellites, our way of life would change dramatically.
A magnetic pole reversal could mean that the South